Hello all, so in this video we'll be starting with ensemble learning, or often called sometimes ensemble techniques. So firstly, what does this mean? So as the name suggests, it is the accumulation. Ensemble means accumulation of one or more things, right? So in machine learning, how it is useful, let me just give a brief overview on it. That in machine learning, what I can say is that, let's say I have some machine learning algorithms like decision tree, support vector machine, logistic regression. We are solving some classification problem. Let's say we have to classify into two classes. It is either spam and not spam. So what we can do in individually, we can train a decision tree model, SVM model, and linear regression, logistic regression. Sorry, for classification we need logistic regression. So we can do that, but individually we can have this. But can we do something like we can combine the best of all these three worlds? What I mean is that we have some advantages of decision tree, some for this SVM and some for logistic regression. So we'll combine all of them, and then we'll take the best of all the worlds, right? So there is some method which can combine all of them and then give some classification, right? And the best thing is a majority vote, that will take predictions from all and we'll take the majority, that whatever is the majority of the algorithm, whatever output is given by those majority of algorithm can be considered as our correct output, right, for our classification. So it's like a simple majority vote. So let me just start with a very brief motivation, that suppose you have some question and you will throw it to the thousand of random peoples, right? So and then aggregate their answers. So it's like a audience poll. So you will find that always a aggregated answer that we are getting is always better than the expert's answer. There will be some expert of that particular field, but the aggregated answer, even though they are not expert, but since we have so many random people, the aggregated answer will be best. And this is often called as wisdom of crowd. So similarly, as I explained, that in machine learning thing, what we'll do is that similarly, if we can aggregate or combine, if we can aggregate the predictions of a group of predictors. Here group of predictors means our machine learning models, like as I said, decision tree, SVM, and logistic regression. So from our group of predictors which are shown here, if we can do that, and there, I'm not saying that we are just doing classification problem with this ensemble learning, we can do regression as well. So either classification machine learning models or regression models, right, doesn't matter. Then we can get better predictions than the expert one, or I can say than the best individual ones. And I'll show you this by code. Individual predictors, let me write it first. So a group of such predictors are called ensemble, and that's why the name is ensemble learning or the ensemble method sometimes. Now, as an example, I showed you this decision tree, SVM will combine all of them. There is also one more method called random forest, which is combination of so many decision trees. So we'll see that later, but there is also a ensemble learning technique, and it is called random forest. And forest, it is said because it is combination of so many decision trees, and that's why tree constitutes a forest. So that's why it is called random forest at the end. But let me just start with our example, that train a group of decision tree. I just gave this example, each on a random subset of training data. So here is the catch, that we are training a group of decision trees. So we are training many decision trees, and but we are training each on a random subset of a training data. So it's like every group of decision tree, first decision tree will see some data which is not seen by other decision tree. So it's like we have some variability, that it's not like we are training a decision tree on the same data. We are training decision tree on a different data, but slightly different data. Of like what I can say is that if I am given a huge training data, then we'll have the subsets of training data, and we'll train the decision tree on those subset of data. And then in order to make prediction after the training, we obtain the predictions from all individual trees, as I already said, and that predict the class which get most votes. And this is nothing but a majority vote, kind of audience poll. I hope you can connect the things. And as I said, this is also called random forest, and it is one of the most powerful machine learning algorithm that we'll see later on. Yeah, so this is just a motivation. Now, before starting the actual machine learning ensemble techniques, what I'll do is I'll be giving a brief overview about hard voting and soft voting. And because after this, we'll go to actual ensemble methods, and there we will get that why actual ensemble methods are better than this hard voting and soft voting. So, hard voting is the same thing that I already explained, so I will not spend more time on it. We'll directly jump to the code. So, hard voting is like we have logistic regression, support vector machine, random forest, and many other machine learning algorithms, and we are training them on some data. And then what we are doing, we are taking just a majority vote, and that can be considered as our prediction, actual prediction. That majority vote that we'll get, that will be our actual class. So that is called hard voting. And let's see the code for hard voting, and then we'll discuss soft voting later in this video after discussing the code of it. So let's have some hands on. So here I have the code. So I'm just using scikit-learn, and I just imported, I'm taking 3 algorithms. So from scikit-learn.ensemble, it is just, let me just write the comments meanwhile. So importing random forest, then logistic regression, and then support vector machine, but classification problem, sorry, and support vector machine, but since we are doing classification, we are using that. And here we are using logistic regression for classification, and the data set, this is the data set that we are using. So I'm just writing, this is the data set for moon data set, and it is a data set that is directly available in the scikit-learn package. So it is, if you can just google it, moon data set on scikit-learn, I'll give you the brief overview that it makes the concentric circles. So I'm just writing, because moon has concentric circles, so it's like a non-linear data set, circular kind of. So concentric circles data set, pardon me for the spellings. Okay, and oh, I'm doing so much of typing mistakes. And here we go with train test split. So this is to split into train and test data. Oh, this time I didn't. Then what we are doing, we are just importing 150 samples of data from X and Y. You can just directly see by printing what is X and what is Y, so you can get the better idea. So here it's an array. So we have points, and these are 150 points, and similarly Y we have. Then what we are doing, we are splitting from the train test split. Here we are using this in order to split our data into training. So it's the X train, X test, Y train, and Y test. And then here we are calling our logistic regression, all the machine learning algorithms that we are going to use. So here we are calling all our ML algorithms, or we can say we are initializing them. And then here we are using hard voting. So hard voting is really simple. Here you can see that you have to just, here we already imported the voting classifier from scikit-learn, so everything is available in sklearn. And then here what I'm giving as an argument is voting as hard. We'll see the change when we are going to use voting as soft. So here we are using, just giving the name logistic regression to this thing, log logistic regression, which CLF just stand for classification, doesn't matter, you can write anything else. Then random forest classifier, and then support vector machine classifier that we initialized here. And then we are just using them here in order to have the majority vote. So what this function will do, this cell will execute our majority voting. So, or we can just write hard voting. And after that, we are just fitting our data. So we are training our model now on our X train and Y train. So train the hard voting model, which consists of these 3 algorithms: logistic regression, random forest, and SVM. And then we are just using accuracy for as an accuracy, just to have evaluation measure. We are using accuracy right now, and we are importing that from scikit-learn.matrices. And then here, for each individual thing, this for loop is for, we are gonna predict the accuracy for each individual, and then at the end for our voting classifier. And we'll see that voting classifier will never perform worst. You can see in most of the cases, I'm not generalizing it, sometimes you might find on some data set that you have worst performance in voting classifier, but you can see the best accuracy is given by random forest classifier and then support vector machine classifier. And you can see the voting classifier is not far behind that, so you will not get accuracy in most of the cases less than this. And here what it proves, that the wisdom of crowd, that if we have the best ones, but if we combine the best ones and take the majority vote, you will get better results. Here we are getting not better results than all those, but we are not getting the worst. We are getting 96.966, which is the best one, right? And you might get good in case of soft voting, right? So this is the simple code for hard voting. Now let's move towards soft voting. So as the name suggests, here we are just taking the majority votes. We are not giving anyone more weights that consider the output from SVM as the best or give them more priority. So if SVM gives classification as spam, then we can consider our email as spam irrespective of others. It's not like that. We are not giving any weight to anything, but in soft voting we'll give the weights, or we can say probability will give. So if, as the name suggests, if all the classifiers are able to estimate class probability, so if we'll say that we are classifying using logistic regression that my email is spam with 90% probability, or I can say 0.9 as a probability, then similarly for SVM and RF, we'll have random forest, we'll have some probability value. Then what you can tell sklearn to predict the class with the highest class probability, right, averaged over all the individual classifiers. So this is what soft voting does, and it in most of the cases achieves higher performance than hard voting because it gives more weights, right? Because what is probability? Probability is that the more confidence you have, and more the confidence you have, you will get more weights to SVM, right? If SVM has more probability, then we can say that we'll give more weight to SVM, and that's why we'll get in most of the cases higher performance than hard voting. Hard voting is just like counting the majority vote, but here we are not doing that, and that's why you will get the best accuracy or better accuracy than hard voting in case of soft voting. And only change in the code should be, you should write here soft and you will get the soft voting. But yeah, like in, you have to check the documentation that in SVC, in order to get probability, what to do. I think in SVC there is some function, some argument that you should pass here with respect to probability. So you have to just take care of those things, that what are those things. You can just simply go through the probability and you have to just set it here true. So you have to check it. I'm not sure because I often read entire documentation from official page of sklearn and then go with the code. So I suggest you to do the same. So I think the video is a bit bigger, but I can just give you the brief overview about ensemble methods. So what happened is, like in case of hard voting and soft voting, what are the drawbacks of them? Let's discuss that. So in what we did in hard and soft voting, that we are having our, what I can say, decision tree, again I am saying, then SVM, SVC, support vector machine classifier, and then random forest and many other logistic regression and so on. So all these are algorithms that we are using, and then we are training them on some data, right? But can we do something like, we just have a single algorithm and then we train them on different subset of data, the same thing that I explained with random forest here, that let's say we obtain the predictions of all individual trees. So how we train them? Train a group of decision tree classifiers, each on a different subset of data. So here decision tree remains the same, but we are training each decision tree on a different set of data, or I can say different subset of training data that we have. So can we do something like that? And this is where this bagging, boosting and stacking come into picture. So we'll see that what is bagging. So I'll just briefly introduce bagging here, and then we'll see the code and stuff in next video. So as the name suggests, it is a combination of two words, bootstrapped aggregation. So firstly, what is bootstrap? So bootstrap is a kind of sampling. Here the name comes from the sampling method. So when we perform sampling, let me just change the color, that when we perform sampling with replacement, then it is called bootstrapping, or can say bootstrap sampling. And when it is performed without replacement, then it is also called pasting. But here we are not going to use pasting, so I'm not going to go in detail of pasting, but I just give you a definition. So here bootstrapping means sampling with replacement. So here what we'll do is that, as I said, this is an different ensemble methods, all the algorithms, where a same training algorithm is used. So as I said, we'll use the same decision tree algorithm, but we'll train on different random subsets of dtrain, or I can say training data. I'm just writing dataset train, dtrain. And when we perform, so how we'll get different subsets of training data? By sampling, because let's say we have a huge dtrain here. So this is my total dtrain. Now what I will do is that I'll take random subset of it and then train my model, a decision tree on it. Then I'll take something else, and then I'll train again, right? So this sampling that I'm doing is done with replacement. So it's like a sampling method that we are using. That's why the name is bootstrapped. And what is aggregation? So at the end, what we'll do is that once all the predictors are trained, so we'll train so many decision trees. So once, let me just write on a fresh page, that once all the predictors, or in our case that I used to explain, once all the decision trees are trained, then the ensemble can make predictions for new data, or for new incoming instance of data, by simply aggregating all the predictions. And this aggregation, you can use statistical methods, statistical mode, most frequent prediction, like hard voting that we are doing, or average you can take for regression problems. So by simply aggregation, so aggregation, you can use anything statistical that you want to, right? And of course, like, there are many other things like where, like bias and variance stuff that we have in this. So I'll give a very brief overview on it as well. So, and then we'll discuss thoroughly in detail. So in bagging, and I mean in ensemble techniques, what is most is that each individual predictor, so each decision trees that we have here, is considered as high bias, is having high bias, right? And how this will be helpful after aggregation, that it will reduce both variance and bias, and always there is a bias variance trade-off. So I think let me just stop here and we'll discuss thoroughly about bias variance trade-off. So here just forget about this bias and variance, but once all these predictions are trained, then the ensemble can make predictions for new data simply by aggregation, and you can take statistical mode, or that is mode is nothing but most frequent data like majority voting, or you can take average, or anything that you want, and the net result is that you will get a best prediction as compared to the individual predictors. So the end goal remains the same, that we have to give the best performance in order to classify. So that's it for this video, and we'll continue from this topic with the hands-on again. So stay tuned and see you again.